Let's talk about future. Not something very far, but just several years from now. Let's say year 2030. How everything is going to change. AI will most probably be taking over more and more. Maybe we'll have 6G network available, some advancements in energy, in healthcare, sciences. But what about you? How your life is going to change? Will you work more? Will you work less? What are you going to eat in the morning of 2030, May 15th? Are you going to take maybe some vacations in virtual reality? Unfortunately, I cannot tell you those things, nor I can tell you what's going to be the name of some new Netflix hit series that year. But what I can tell you, that half of you in this room, let's say this half, are going to be driving electric vehicles. Hi everyone, my name is Donatas. I'm a product owner of OBD devices here in Teltonika Telematics, and today I'm going to tell you how EV Insights can help you grow your business. So, for the last 10 years, electric vehicle market was growing exponentially. And it is estimated that this year, sales of new EVs are going to be like 22 million new electric vehicles. And it is plus 5 million electric vehicles compared to last year. And in the year 2030, it is estimated that it might be like 1 out of 2 new vehicles will be electric. So of course, there are reasons behind this growth. First of all, there are some innovations in automotive industry and especially in electric vehicle battery manufacturing. In past 5 years, price of electric vehicle batteries dropped around 40%. In next 5 years, they are going to drop 50% more. And combined in 10 years, this drop will be from 180 to 60 euros per kilowatt hour for electric vehicle battery. So it means if we consider inflation, in 10 years it will drop like 4 or 4.5 times. And electric vehicle battery makes up majority of electric vehicle price. So this decrease makes significant impact on the whole value of electric vehicle. Also, China is already the biggest electric vehicle manufacturer in the world, making like 60% of new EVs yearly. And we are nowhere near from stopping this. Still, it is dedicated mostly for their domestic market, but already the Chinese has their presence globally. And of course, they have their presence here in Europe with such brands as BYD. So, even if there are some motions to postpone those green plans, emission targets, etc. So manufacturers here in Europe, automotive industry will need to ramp up their effort to fight back this competition which is coming from Chinese manufacturers. And also at last, there are still some government incentives like subsidies or investments into electric vehicle infrastructure development which drives this growth. So, this growing market, of course, requires some regulations. So, zero emission vehicles program in USA or new energy vehicles monitoring platform in China are just few examples of those regulations which are popping up globally. But what about Europe, which is, I'm sure, the most interesting market for like most of you. So, of course, Europe likes to regulate, European Union likes to regulate, and we have one here. It is this regulation 2023-1542, also known as batteries regulation, which was introduced in year 2023 and it will come into full power at 2027. So just few takeaways about this regulation. From this regulation and from this lengthy document. So first of all, it states that end user or some third party should always have an access to battery management system data and should have possibility to define what is the state of health of their battery, also battery of electric vehicle. Also, it promotes standardization and unification of data protocols used for battery management, for battery data management. It includes concept of this digital battery passport, which means that each battery will need to have this document data set which describes all this life cycle of that battery. And also, at the end, This regulation is needed to promote sustainability and responsibility in usage and manufacturing of EV batteries. So now, new technology, regulations and migration to EV fleets from internal combustion engine vehicles, of course, means some new challenges for everyone who's dealing with it. And if I was a fleet owner, these would be some of the challenges which I would be facing now. So first of all, it is lack of access to electric vehicle data, and especially lack of access to vehicle's battery state of health or uncertainty in battery degradation. Also, maintenance planning now is different with electric vehicles because internal combustion engine vehicles has their own patterns for this maintenance planning. With electric vehicles, there is some new information which needs to be absorbed. And also, there is a thing called remaining range anxiety. It means that with internal combustion engine vehicles, it's quite simple. If I ran out of gas, just find the nearest petrol station, 5 minutes, I have full tank, grab some coffee in the meantime, and that's it, I'm good to go. With electric vehicle, will require like more thorough planning where and when to charge this battery. So, in past decade, it would have been quite hard to overcome these challenges I just mentioned. Because past decade, like year 2010, 2020, the main focus was still dedicated for OBD data reading in internal combustion engine vehicles, meaning standard OBD data reading and specific OEM data reading for ICE vehicles. And in 2020, some basic EV parameters were introduced, and now OBD devices are capable to read quite broad and sophisticated data set of parameters, including state of health, battery temperature, battery voltage, current, and many more. So what happens if we help to overcome these challenges for that fleet owner? And if we help to overcome these challenges I just mentioned a couple slides ago. So case study, our calculations and experience of our partners shows that there are significant benefits when adopting this telematics solution for EV fleet. So first of all, this battery health analytics, or knowing battery state of health, can increase the value of electric vehicle at the end of its life cycle by at least 5%, because you know how much your vehicle is worth. Also, smart route optimization means more efficient usage of workforce and your fleet, which basically means that with the same resources, you can do more work. Also, battery charging behavior analysis can change patterns how battery is being charged, because it's very important to charge it sustainably. You cannot charge it too much, you cannot drain it too low. You should be in this sweet spot, which is quite big, but still you need to remain there. And this sustainable charging of EV battery might increase the lifespan of battery itself by 15%. Also, predictive maintenance can reduce fleet downtime by 30%, which means that your fleet will be able to do just more job. And eco-driving analysis can reduce maintenance cost by at least 5%, meaning some lower insurance payments and lower payments for tires, for brakes, and all the stuff which needs to be changed periodically. So now let's put it into perspective. In 1 year, let's say for a standard company working in dispatch, logistics, and delivery business here in Vilnius and region, like countryside, which has 100 electric vehicles, these savings can add up to 360,000 euros per year, meaning for one vehicle, saving on labor costs and all the things which I mentioned, savings can be up to 300 per one vehicle per 1 month. Now, vehicle, hardware, data, and platform, these are 4 components which you will need to turn this EV data into business value. So where you will find those components? So first of all, vehicle, most probably you will find in your customer's garage, and device or hardware you can find on the market, let's say from some vendor, but I strongly suggest you using Teltonika hardware like this, FMC 003 device, OBD device, because it comes with third component, which is the data. And now, how much data you need? EV is constantly providing loads of data from OBD port. Let's say if you connect some diagnostic, or maybe if you connect device which can also act as a diagnostic. So we ran this diagnostic on OBD port on Tesla, and I have here log 70 pages long with digits and letters. I did not print it out all, we're being sustainable, just 10 pages, but imagine that it's printed out. And please, can you guess how much time it takes to generate with 70 pages of log? Maybe minute? How much? Maybe more? Maybe less? 5 seconds. Maybe less? Maybe more? Okay, so it takes 1 second to generate this log. Okay, so imagine if you need log for 10 seconds. If you need log for 1 minute, then I will need block of paper like this. Of course, you don't print that log, but imagine for 10,000 vehicles, so much data, and if you would be sending it somewhere, like how much data traffic it would generate. So what we did, we have this tailored solution, and we cherry pick the data from those logs which you actually need. And this data is those 16 OEM parameters which you can use in electric vehicle applications and use cases, like battery state of health, battery temperature, battery voltage, battery current, odometer, range, and lifetime energy used, and so on. Of course, data is not everything. One more thing, the last thing is you need platform. This is like your platform which you're building, or maybe some third platform which end user is using. So now, getting back to this data and the device, data is not everything. Also, it is very important how many vehicles and what vehicles you do support. So after extensive work for several years, we managed to add to our supported vehicles list more than 1,500 vehicles, from which more than 150 are electric vehicles. And we analyzed top 500 models which were sold in 2 years period, and now we know that we globally support more than 80% of vehicles which are on the roads. So it means that in 4 out of 5 vehicles you come, you put our device, you will get some data. Now if you consider only top 30 makes, then our supported percentage is even higher. It's more than 86%. And in this top 30 makes, we can find such brands as Tesla and BYD from China, which I just mentioned. And have in mind that in the remaining 14%, there are some exotic brands like Chang'an from China, which is totally domestic for China market, not relevant, at least yet, here in Europe. So this percentage is even higher. So now what's the point? Why you should do this and why you should use this EV data insights for your business? So answer is quite simple and pragmatic. You can call it money, growth, new opportunities, whatever you like. So first of all, with this you can monetize real-time battery management system insights, and you can offer your clients some advanced services and use this to justify subscription revenue and premium packages. Also, you can differentiate your solution and stand out in competition and in those competitive tenders and offer some unique products for the market. You can reduce support costs because remote diagnostics can cut those unnecessary service calls and decrease downtime, which will then increase your customers' loyalty and platform stickiness. And also you can create some new business models for some additional revenue. So, like building usage-based warranties, battery as a service, state of health monitoring, battery level monitoring, and so on. So now, like David Lynch once said, I'm wearing dark glasses today because I'm seeing future and it's looking very bright. So about this future, what you need to do and how you can prepare for this EV future. So first of all, you should choose EV-ready telematics solution, you should start collecting and analyzing battery management system today. You should get aligned with EU regulations and never stop learning, starting today.